Hi everyone, my name is Charlie and I don't usually record videos in work. In fact, I'm not actually sure that I'm allowed to. That fan is quite loud in the background, so I must apologise. Anyway, I got to work with the intention of recording a video today, but the cat wanted food, so I had to let her in. And basically, I just thought, this is clearly a sign that you need to write. So I thought what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you along for the journey this week of my writing. You are going to get to see the ins and outs, the nitty-gritties. In fact, I might have to wear a hat. This is a booktubeathon minus the reading. This is a booktubeathon of writing. We are going to try and write every day for 7 days and hope that all goes well. Are we going to write 7 books? No, but we would kind of be happy with 7,000 words. Maybe that's a target. We'll see. And I'll probably chat to you again tomorrow in less preposterous settings. Ordinarily, we'd be brighter than this, but I'm very aware that there is some weirdo at the back who, I don't know if she can see through trees, but if she can see through trees, she can see directly into my bedroom, and I'm just not about that life. This is like a pay-per-view type situation, if you get my gist. That sounded dirty. I didn't mean it that way. I just, was talking about the era of celebrity, clearly. Anyway, yesterday I didn't actually write as much as I intended to. I did write for that entire half an hour to an hour that I had before work. Well, before anyone arrived at work. But the issue arose when I recorded. I wanted to show people me actually writing, make this into some sort of documentary type thing, and rather than just me narrating to the camera the entire time. And we had this shocking realisation that in actual fact it takes me about 20 seconds to write one line, and now I'm in this complete quandary as to sweaty head, as to whether I continue writing in the notebook or whether I just go to the computer where I know that I can write a lot quicker. And yes, this is me revealing that I do in actual fact own a computer now. It's a Dell XPS and I purchased it way back in May, and it completely ruined me financially, but I saved all my own money. I had an agreement with my mother that I would buy the computer and then pay her my rent. So the computer's bought. I've been working on it. The entire novel that I've got is written on here and is still in the notebooks, because I've got this worry. I also have a little memory stick that my friend Liz kindly sent to me for a birthday or a Christmas a few years ago. So we're quite happy with the situation regarding the novel. I'm very happy with the computer, despite it being expensive, and despite the fact that computers have changed a lot since I purchased my own way back in 2010, and I actually don't know half the stuff that they can do nowadays, so that makes me feel old. But yes, so today what I'm going to be doing is I think I'm going to be recording a book haul, dependent on when people get home, so we'll see. I was asking for editing software on Twitter last night because I found out that YouTube no longer likes me uploading straight from my phone. We're currently at a scene in the novel where I've only written a paragraph in the plan, so I know that there's a lot of stuff that I want to happen outside of that to further the story along, not with the subplot, but with just some of the... I want this part of the story to be a lull. I want it to just be a calm bit of the story before we move on and start discovering more things. I'm very writerly about this at the moment, which is also another reason that it's taking me a lot more time to get this part done. But yes, I might update more today depending on how I work. I only have one episode of The Archers to listen to, and on Sunday I wrote a fair amount because I listened to an hour of The Archers, so I don't know what I'm going to do now. But we will see. We don't have to worry about it, and we'll cross that path when we get there. We've now got 3 pages written, and this is the point in which I've confused myself, because I have absolutely no idea whether I've revealed something that I planned on waiting till later to reveal, or whether this is just how the story's going and I'll have to accept it. But I did say to my friend Lindsay the other day that I think I'm going to have to trust myself more with this story because I'm not telling anyone about it. My dog's just arrived. He'll probably jump up on the bed. So, this is a strange situation. I was trying to write 5 pages a day, which isn't a lot to people, especially when it's only in an A5 notebook, but I'm hoping that I'll reach 1,000 words, and I'm hoping that 1,000 words each day, getting to 7,000 words down, will be okay. Of course, in our younger and more impressionable years, we would try and write more, and we wouldn't think we'd achieved as much at this moment, but I'm really just having to stick with that 7,000 in a week of what I think is going to be good prose is better than 7,000 in a day that wouldn't really connect. I've just introduced a place that is a bit important to me in the story and is an important element of creating trust between 2 characters. So I'm hoping that that's going to work. Of course, everything I'm doing at the moment is all of wishes and hopes and dreams and trust. It's very metaphysical up in here. So we'll see. It's only day 2, and on day 2 we've written 3 pages, and it's taken us a very long time. It's now past 3 o'clock, and it takes me a long time to write longhand. I haven't yet moved on to just writing primarily on the computer. I have this want to write faster, and then this worry that should I write faster it wouldn't work out as well, so I just have to trust me gut, as always. That's going to be the motto of this book, just trusting myself as a writer. It does come from a different place as well that I'll have to probably talk about at some point and go more into depth at a later date as to why I made the decision to keep the story secret and to keep this book away from people. And there are a few reasons, and I might share them at some point, but currently I'm not going to be doing that. Anyway, I shall maybe do another update later if my family don't come back, but they will be back, so I don't think I'll have a chance to. So I'm going to keep writing, I'm going to keep listening to music. Definitely try V.V. Brown's Glitch album for writing inspiration, because that has really worked for me today. It just drives me to create. I don't know what it is about the album, that and listening to the Archers, but what can you do when you're caught up? Anyway, I'll see you when I see you. In a rather startling turn of events, we have hit 30,000 words. How did we do this? Was this expected? No. Basically, what happened was that yesterday morning I awoke and I made the decision that yes, we were going to have to go and write straight onto the computer. I'm just able to work faster there, and working faster, whilst it doesn't necessarily give me my best writing, it still lends itself to making me feel better creatively about it being able to reach targets that I've set for myself. So, we're being great friends with the computer at the moment. I wrote from 9:30 until 2 yesterday, when I decided it would probably be a good time to get some breakfast, and so I did, and then I read 110 pages of Podkin One Ear, which I'm buddy reading with my friend Lily of Like Yoss Reads, and then I watched a bit of telly, went back writing again at 6, had to go and have the dog out at 10 to 8, so did that, came back to writing again at 9:30, and yesterday we managed to write 3,000 words. This is the most that we have written since February, end of January, start of February. I have introduce some characters that you might know about from earlier works if you've read any of my earlier works. But as I've said before, I don't actually know whether this book will ever see the light of day. It's just something that I've wanted to write since I was 12, so I'm writing it, I'm creating it, and it's going okay. I am looking to maybe, I don't think I'm going to try and write another 3,000 today. I didn't set out to write 3,000 yesterday. I set out to write 1,000, and I'd done that within an hour, and I thought, well, let's try this again. And then I saw how close I was to 30,000, and I thought, well, let's just get past that. And then I got past that and wrote a few more words in there. So I think I'd definitely like to hit 32,000 today. One, because I'm at work tomorrow, so I wanted to write 7,000 words this week. And if I write 7,000 words, I'll be extremely happy. It will take us to near 35,000, so I'll be fine with that. And yeah, I'm. Let me get my notebook so I can give you some better idea. This was the reason for the asking for the editing software. So I don't know whether any of you know this, but this black notebook, apart from having chewing gum stuck to the back by some fool in my house, has all of my notes on this book. This, and then we move on to these little scraps of paper like this. And so far, we are 1, 2, 3 A5 pieces, and then this 1.5 sides on this one currently. Now with this piece of paper here, there is mention of something, the next scene that I need to write, and I do want to write that, but I'm questioning whether to just bulk it and move it into the scene after that, because I think we've seen one character enough that I could just move on and join the two scenes together without worrying too much. So we'll see when I'm writing it. But yes, that's my plans for today, are to write 1,700 words, hit 32,000, and then it'll be less work for me to do because I've got work tomorrow on Saturday, and I think the last day of this writing vlog, this booktuber write-a-thon, I should just call it an authortubeathon, gosh darn it, will be finished, and we'll see how I've progressed. But yeah, if I got halfway into this book, then I'd be happy. We are back amongst the clothes and bric-a-brac. And today, we brought the computer to work. This is the first time I've ever brought my computer to work, but I actually have been writing a lot on this, so it makes more sense to bring it to work and write on this than it would to bring a notebook. Let's just hope no one tries to sell it. Yeah, we have finally passed 9,000 words for the week, which I didn't expect. I went past 32,000 yesterday, and I'm not quite sure where we've got to, but I am questioning whether it might still be a good idea to go for that 10,000. It just seems like a nice round number to end the week on. Really surpass our goal by about 3,000 and also just increase how far we've got. I've got quite a few pages left of the plan, and it's a case of trying to figure things out and trying to make sure that they actually make some semblance of sense. And yes, I might have just brought my laptop to work so that I could get some shots of me writing on it. What can you do? The things we do for YouTube. I posted to Twitter last night that because I didn't get the opportunity to write last night, that I probably wasn't going to get any sleep. And the fact of the matter is that I didn't get any sleep. That's a tiny bit of an exaggeration. I did actually sleep from maybe the hours of 2 till 6. And let me tell you, 4 hours is not enough for Charlie. it's just not enough. So yeah, so I have a cup of coffee. I have arrived to work with and actually, this was my next point really. I've let the cat in again because she was waiting. Again, I don't know what's going on. Last night, whilst I was mulling over absolutely everything to do with this book, I had the realisation that maybe motive is a good thing to give certain characters. And, well, I say this because I say certain characters because other characters already have motives. Those motives are clearly defined. And, yeah, there are certain characters in here who are just known by name, but are actually rather important to the story that I want to tell, so they really need more backstory and more motivation, which I haven't given them. And so we're at 10,700 and something words for the week, which is fine by me. I still want to get some writing done today, and I want to get some writing done tomorrow. I'd quite like to end Sunday with 40,000 words of the book, but I'm not sure how possible that's going to be yet. That's also 4,000 words away, so I'd have to write 4,000 words basically. Try and do 2,000 today, 2,000 tomorrow, and I don't know that that's possible because I'm only writing before work, then I've got to go home, I've got to make tea for everyone, so we'll see. I also decided to rework part of the latter end of the plot because I wrote something that was going to happen, and I think that I now want to push that further back and separate it and separate the people that tell it, and just change the scenes for more drama and more clarity, which is always fun, and just make it better. When I realised the whole motivation thing, and then there was something else as well, and I was like, well, this needs to be in an earlier scene in this book. I'm very obsessed with my hair this morning, apparently, and I thought this needs to be earlier, and I thought it'd be great if you had someone you could send this to, Charlie, but you're keeping your book a secret. And I thought it'd be great if I could talk to Lindsay about this, but I'm keeping it secret. It'd be great if I could talk to my mother about this, but I'm keeping it a secret. All the avenues I would usually turn to for advice on a book, I can't turn to. I mean, it's somewhat great. As I've said, I am now having to just trust myself entirely, which isn't something I necessarily ever get to do. But yes, I am alright to finish the story the way that it's going, and the scenes that I think need moving earlier can still be moved earlier in the form that I have them. And I think that what's going to happen is I might finish it and then share the book with people. I might not. We don't know how things are going to go yet. So this is the final day of my self-imposed write-a-thon, and this morning I was on 36,000 words and a bit of change, and I've since written about 2,000 on top of that, and I put a thing out on Twitter and I asked people what they thought, and my friend Lindsay said 3,000 words and Anthony Andrews said 2,000 words, and basically I know that if I write another 2,000 words now I will be at 40,000 words, and ending on 40,000 for the week, I don't know what that will be in terms of what I've actually written this week. Probably something like 13,000, 14,000, I'm not sure, I'd have to check later on, but it does seem like a good place to end, so I'm aiming to have reached 40,000 words of the secret writing project by tonight. It is currently 4:30. I didn't get starting writing until 12:30. I've had a few things go on since then, so I haven't actually got much written, but I think that in time, if I just focus for the next few hours, I should hopefully be able to reach my new target. This has been something of a good experience for me because it has proven to me that I don't have to go slow to write a first draft. I can just get all my thoughts down on the page and worry about them later. Not talking to anyone about this book has also been a great thing because it's meant that I just have to get the words down because I can't talk to anybody about this book until it is finished, until I'm sharing it, until I am completely ready and understand what's going to be happening and where this book is going. So, yes, I'm going to leave that there for now and hopefully get back to you with 40,000 words of this novel under my belt. And now we're back at work. It is Monday. This self-imposed readathon is finally over. And I did just a tiny bit better than I imagined I would. I thought that as this was going on at the same time as the booktubeathon, it might be a good idea to do 1,000 words a day and end up with 7,000 words by the end of the week. In fact, I doubled that. Last night, I ended my week on 14,725 words, giving us a grand total of 40,100 and something words of the secret writing project. And I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy to have more than doubled what I imagined I was going to be able to do. Yes, I did stop writing in the notebook and went straight onto the laptop, and that has proven to be much the better way of doing things. So I think that that's definitely something I'm going to continue on doing. I don't know if I'm going to try and keep up and do another certain amount of words writing this quickly until I have a first draft that's ready to edit, or whether I'm going to slow down again and take a look at what I wrote over the last week. But I'm entirely happy at where the story has gone and is going. There has been a lot of focus on the two main characters that I have, and I had hoped to introduce more side characters since then, but it's just the way the story has run. And we only went off plan a few times to include short scenes that would build up to these bigger ones that I had within the story planned. And I think that's about it really. I'm going to go and do some more writing now. I've made myself a cup of coffee because yesterday I was at home and I thought I really need a coffee, so I thought I'd try this new one that my mum's bought, thinking it was instant. My mother, bless her soul, has bought coffee for a filter coffee machine, thinking it was instant coffee. I understand why she did it. It's very difficult to tell they're different, but I noticed when I got a mouthful of grit and the granules weren't dissolving. Well, that is it for this video. I might one day announce just what this secret project is, but for now I'm still keeping it close to my chest. This has been probably 7 months now, and I'm quite enjoying holding you all in suspense, if in actual fact any of you care at all. But yes, as I've told many people, there is an interview out there which gives an idea as to what I'm writing. There have been a few hints over the years I have said about certain types of books that I'd like to write. 2 of my friends have guessed it, and my manager has guessed the genre as well. I'm just quite lucky that she's forgotten. So we'll see if I ever tell you. But thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog style of video, and if I ever cobble it together, until next time, that is all.